dragons in dining. Legends have it that dragons are large, fierce creatures covered in scales and breathing fire through their mouths or nostrils. Unfortunately, legends, like Fisher's tales, have a habit of growing longer with every retelling, and both the size and weaponry of the dragon seem to increase with time. The beast had an outward appearance of a dragon: smooth, shining scales, a long reptilian neck and head, and talons that looked capable of slicing wood without noticing the obstruction. Its size, however, was a shock, for the beast was barely 5 feet tall. It stood on its hind legs, tail against the ground, to provide balance in this precarious position. Its back was an old pile of rags, emitting a stench of carrion so thick it made the human's head spin. "Ho!" cried the human, readying his sword. "Prepare to meet thy doom, O foul fiend!" The dragon looked around, and with a surprised look, placed a taloned hand delicately on its chest, as if saying, "Me? I thee, O maldurant mutt! Long have I sought to rid this place of your stench, thou fetid forager." With a flourish, the warrior prepared to swing his sword. "I say," spoke the dragon, "that's a rather nasty tone for people who've just met, is it not? Do not attempt to sway me, thou. The human floundered. "Putrid pilferer," helpfully provided the dragon. "That is rather good, yes. Thou putrid pilferer, limb from limb I will rend thee, and that smell is rather strong, isn't it?" the human asked, wrinkling his nose. "What have you got in there?" "Fertilizer," answered the dragon. "Fertilizer? What for?" "My salads. They don't grow well if left alone, and sometimes require a helping hand from the manure department." The dragon dropped his pack in front of the puzzled human and went on to open the flaps. There, in the pack steps, were several pounds of horse manure. Top quality Arabian stallions. You don't get this from any village store, you know. "But salad?" The human was almost whimpering. "Has no one told you, my dear friend? Dragons are herbivores. We eat plants. Personally, I think I make a succulent Caesar salad." "Herbivores?" The voice was definitely whimpering now. "But aren't you supposed to eat virgins or something and lay waste to entire villages?" "Rumors, superstitions, all started by warriors who had a close encounter with one of my kind. I mean, what would you say when you came home from a day of slaying a dragon? 'It barely came up to my chest, weighed less than I, and mightily did I slaughter this defenseless beast.' No, you would make up tales of a large, ferocious beast able to rip your head off with a single bite." "But what about me? What'll I do now?" The dragon eyed the human critically. You look as though you've seen better days. When did you last eat?" "Never mind," the dragon continued before the human could answer. "Let me invite you home for dinner." The human took a step back. "For dinner? As dinner, you mean?" "Had I wanted you to be the later course for my later repast, I would have said so," sighed the dragon. "I assure you, I have no wish to eat you. The idea is revolting to me, as I'm sure it is to you." Picking up its pack, the dragon turned towards the hills. "Well?" The human looked at his sword, then at the dragon. Finally, he shrugged, sheathed his weapon, and followed the beast down the path. The dragon's home was bright and airy, completely different from what the human would have imagined. Instead of jagged rocks, walls of lightly colored plaster rose to an embossed ceiling. Instead of the darkness of a gloomy cave, veins of crystals were filtering sunlight through the rocks themselves into the lair. Instead of the cold dampness of a cave, the home was warm and dry. "Central heating," stated the dragon. "Does wonders for my arthritis, you know." "This is not like anything I would have expected," admitted the human. "You were perhaps expecting dungeons, littered bones, damsels in distress, or is that dress?" "Ha ha ha," the dragon chuckled. "No, I'm afraid afraid we are a very secular and solitary breed, we dragons. It's not often we invite others into our homes, even for dinner. Holding its pack in one claw, the beast ambled down the corridor into a large, well-decorated room. Setting its pack near a smoke-glass door, the dragon picked up a bone china tea set and put it on a tray, rummaged through the varnished pantry for a second. Finally, he held up a packet of biscuits triumphantly, and placing it on the tray, returned to the center of the room with it. Setting up the food, the dragon continued to talk. As you can see, I like my comforts. I have a library over here, and this is the smoky room. I wouldn't go in there if I were you. Bad for your lungs. The kitchen, and over there, he said, pointing to the door next to the pack, is the greenhouse. Where your plants are? Inquired the human. Yes, I grow all my own food. It's healthier that way. You understand. May I see it? Your greenhouse, I mean. Most certainly. I will prepare kitchen for dinner while you're inside. The dragon opened the glass door and ushered the human through, closing it behind him. He looked reluctantly at the handle for a moment, then lowered his reptilian eyes and moved back into the kitchen. Dragging a few pots and pans down from their cabinet, the dragon went on to prepare the salad dressing. He kept clanging the metal spoon loudly against the copper surface of the mixing bowl, trying not to listen to the screams that suddenly emerged from the greenhouse. For, while the dragon may have been a vegetarian, his dinner certainly was not.